Hello everyone, the other player back, and today I wanted to talk about an issue and a possible fix I have for a big problem I have with Vanguard right now, which is the mobility issue. If you haven't noticed, if you ever try to use anything other than a submachine gun at close quarters, you will be instantly punished. This includes things like pistols and shotguns, and you can't equip assault rifles to deal with these SMGs up close because you're punished in so many other ways. It makes the assault rifle pretty much useless. So this is something that I've been having a huge problem with, and I can't run aggro with an assault rifle. And I don't mean that as in I'm bad at it, even though I am. You can kind of see that by the gameplay. I just mean that I think it's wholly impossible to do. If you look at the Sprintout times and the ADS times, they are so much worse than what an SMG is, just base-wise. Like, even if I do equip attachments on an assault rifle, the downsides are so large that there's no point in doing it, because it defeats the purpose of using an assault rifle altogether. I might as well switch. Or I could just use the MP40 and get the benefits of an assault rifle already. But when the difference is so high, it creates a dynamic where the ARs feel more like LMGs. For example, with the LMGs that I was using, I felt like the mobility was bad and all of that, but they just felt like slightly slower ARs. And that's normal. That's what I expect in a COD game. However, the difference between the ARs and the SMGs was like 2 or 3 times as much. I think it's about 500 milliseconds difference, if I know my numbers right. And that's way off. Half a second is about double the time to kill. Maybe like theoretical time to kill. Practical time to kill is about that much, so someone can constantly kill you before you can get a hit marker on them, which I think is really dumb. I think you should lose maybe 80 to 90% of the time if you are an AR going against an SMG and you guys jump out at each other and like equals. But I think the AR should have a chance, like at least somewhat of a chance, like to outplay in gun skill or to outplay in some other method. I don't think it should be that because I have an AR, I automatically lose, because that's what it felt like the majority of the time. In fact, even when I was running a shotgun, I felt like this. I felt like that if I tried to go up against SMG users, just for some reason the shotgun base stats were somehow worse in mobility, which makes no sense because a shotgun is designed to get up in people's faces and be super mobile. Now, some people might argue that, wait a minute, the shotgun and the AR, why not just put attachments on it? There are tons of attachments that you can put on that will reduce your ADS time, reduce your sprint out time, do this, that, and the other. And I would respond with, yeah, I totally could. But if I do that, then my visibility and recoil goes down to about nil, and then that just defeats the entire purpose of me using the gun that I'm using. If I'm using a shotgun, then I can't hit my shots. I already have trouble hitting shots because for some reason they decided on the first shotgun that the recoil was going to be so massive that shooting a third shot is going to require you to wait for your screen to recenter. And for ARs, it means that your visibility is just going to be basically nil, which means that you can't see even if you can control the recoil. But even if you could see, the recoil is so strong that you're not going to be able to keep your shots on target very well. Granted, I'm not the best at controlling recoil, that's pretty obvious. I'm also new to mouse and keyboard, which I'm trying out this year, so keep that in mind. But still, we're talking about the casual player here, not someone like me who's going to be playing like 4 to 5 hours a day if I want. Point being, I shouldn't be extremely heavily punished for my gun choice. It should be able to cater to one style mainly, but be adaptable to other styles, at least somewhat, or at least not be punished as much if I want to go another route. Going back to Modern Warfare, they did this, I think, really well. For example, you had heavier guns, like the Odin or the AK. However, with certain attachments, these would either go down, like the AK could be the AK-74U, or the Odin just wasn't geared for that. You wouldn't use the Odin if you were trying to get more close range engagements, and you knew that when you were building the class. However, with Vanguard, all of them have that issue. You can't really kit the gun in the way that you need it to perform at the ranges you'd like. Mainly having close mid-range be the specialty, maybe more so geared towards mid-range. It also doesn't help that for some reason all of these assault rifles, it feels like, are geared towards being more balanced, like long range things or mid range with high recoil, and just don't feel suited for up close whatsoever. Like, I want to see a hybrid, or I want the ability for it to be an actual hybrid. Like, for example, Modern Warfare's M4A1. You know, when you use it at its base, it's not very good as an SMG. However, when you equip no stock and the 5 milliwatt laser and the short barrel or whatever it is, then you know it's not really an SMG, but it's fun to use and it works as an SMG. I can still pick up kills with it, I can still get people, I can use a wacky class with it and still do well. In Vanguard, it feels like if I try to do that, I'm going to be severely punished and I'm basically just going to go like 5 and 10 in a game. It also doesn't help that because of these mobility issues, SMGs just have a leg up in a lot of circumstances. Unless I'm kind of staying in the same area, which would be useful as an LMG, not an AR, then I might as well just use an SMG. It feels like SMG or LMG. There's no reason to ever use an AR because the areas in which they're good at, I can just do with an LMG. And the areas in which they would perform better than an LMG, I could just use an SMG. It doesn't make sense, and I think to tune this is not going to be hard at all. All they need to do is they need to reduce the Sprintout times of the ARs, maybe tweak a couple attachments here and there. They got 2 months, they got a lot of time to test stuff. And just bring everything back in line with that. Either bump the SMGs up or bring everything down to line with them. Whatever way they go, that's fine. They just need to do one way or the other. They can't have ARs in this shadow realm of an area. Yeah, I just wanted to put out this topic because it's something that's been bothering me a lot when I've been trying to rank up my ARs and then I move to an SMG and then it works completely fine. Especially like with the MP40 where the range is so good on it that there's no point in running an AR and the recoil is good enough that I can use it at longer ranges. I feel like it defeats the whole purpose of why we would use an AR in the first place. Alright, thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time where I'm going to be discussing some more issues and just some tips and tricks. Alright, see you guys. Bye-bye.